Hey there, Holistretch fam. My name is Frances Eve. Welcome to a Holistretch video. In this video, we will be working the inner thighs, the adductors, the groin, the inside of the hips by opening up 6 different muscle groups with self-massage or foam rollers. So grab a foam roller or grab a ball or grab both. I'm going to show you how to get into the muscles using both of these instruments, okay, to stretch. So if you only have a foam roller, you can do all of them with a foam roller and vice versa. However, there's certain ones where you can go deeper with a ball and certain ones that are a little bit better with the foam roller. So I'm going to show you those. We're going to get into 6 different muscles: the psoas major, the vastus medialis, the adductor longus, the gracilis, the pectineus, and the Sartorius. Follow along. We're going to do the right and the left. I recommend holding longer than what's just in the video. Hold until you no longer feel soreness, okay? Please subscribe to the video if you haven't yet done so for more videos like this and to support my channel. I appreciate you so much. Let's get started. Hi, welcome back. We are going to start by foam rolling the Sartorius. If you see the picture, you can see that the Sartorius is on the inside of the knee and then comes at a diagonal up towards the quad. How we will get into this is by laying on our belly and then bringing the foam roller right to the inside of the knee. So you see where the foam roller is, it's right to the side of the knee, the inside. If you feel tension, tightness on the inside of the knee, then generally foam rolling the Sartorius is a really good idea for you. All of these muscles we're going to target. We're going to only do 1 minute in this video, but I personally would hold each of these stretches and gently foam roll each of these stretches for about 30 minutes to even up to 2 hours, depending on how sore I am. Next, we're going to work into the vastus medialis. This is a little more towards the quad. If you see in the picture, it's a little bit on the upper part of the knee. So all we're going to do is we're going to have the same posture, but we're going to rotate that leg so the knee is facing a bit more towards the floor, just so we can get a little more in towards the quad. And by doing this, we are getting more towards the vastus medialis. And this is a major part of your adductors. If you've been sitting for a long time, this tends to get tense and tight. This is a really good muscle to do at any time. It's really one of those muscles that is always tight for me, so foam rolling this is always a benefit. Next, we're going to work into the gracilis. This is a little bit tricky. I had a little bit of a hard time getting exactly in here, but how we get into here is we bring the foam roller up towards the ischial tuberosity or your sit bone, and then you can actually sit sideways on the foam roller. So it's basically right in your groin area, and then you're sliding down towards your knee. So this is the gracilis. This is how we can get into this deep, small muscle. It's small but mighty. This muscle is almost always very tight on my clients, and it's hard to get into unless you foam roll at a specific angle. So this is a good angle to get into the gracilis. Play with it and see how much you can relax on that foam roller, because if you're tight, you won't get as much effectiveness in the stretch. We're moving on now towards the adductor longus. This one is very medial, so it's also a little tricky to get into, and how we do that is just to lay back on the belly and come back to that side knee. And this time the foam roller is going to come very, very close to your hips. So squeezing that foam roller all the way in towards your groin. This is how you start to get into the adductor longus, and you'll feel this in the middle of your inner thigh. So see if you can relax the quad as much as you can so that the foam roller starts to melt into the adductor muscles. Taking some breath in here, breathing and relaxing, continuously trying to do your best to relax into the foam roll and let it melt into your inner thigh. Good. Now for our last one on this side, we're actually going to target two muscles here. That's the pectineus and the psoas major. And the easiest way to do that is with a ball. You can do it with a foam roll, however, it's a little bit less effective just because the space is so broad. Whereas with the ball, you can get much deeper into the space. So how we want to move into the space is bringing the ball right underneath you and then bringing the ball in on the inside of the ASIS or your hip joint. So if you bring the ball in towards your hip flexors, you want to slide it in a little bit medial towards that. You will feel this in your psoas. If it feels very tense, very tight, you'll probably find that you are exactly on your psoas. Moving on to the other side now, we're going back to the Sartorius. So laying on your belly again, bringing the foam roller to the side, the inside of the knee. Try and make it nice and square, so a 90-degree angle from your elbow to your knee. And then gently slide the foam roller in towards your hips. Now, when we foam roll, we always want to focus on the melting, not necessarily the rolling. The main thing we're trying to do is release our knots, release our dense fascia, and release tight muscles. Next is the Vastus medialis. Remember, keeping the same position, all we're going to do is tilt that leg so the quad is down towards the floor, and then we can work our muscle in this position. Always hold into the foam roller and melt into the foam roller until you feel less tension, less soreness, less pain, and then you can move forward, rolling in towards the groin. Feeling into that muscle. You want to feel the length of that muscle. If it helps to look at the picture, look at the picture. If it helps to follow along with your feeling, then really just relax into it and breathe. Foam rolling your inner thighs and your adductors can really help with your posture and really just help to relax your whole body. Next, we're coming into the little tricky one, the Gracilis. We can do this by coming onto our side and then bringing the foam roller up to the sit bones, and then we can do this by bringing the foam roller up to the sit bones on our side and then sliding out towards the knee until you feel the tension of the gracilis. It'll be a very long, skinny muscle. Oftentimes it's the one that hurts the most. Even though it's skinny, again, it's mighty. It holds a lot of tension. And a great way to get into it is just on the side. You can always do this with a ball as well. Sometimes it's hard to get into this area, and so a ball can actually do wonders. Next, we're moving into the adductor longus, coming back onto the belly, bringing the foam roller in towards the hip flexors, and then feel into the middle part of your inner thigh. See if you can relax and melt in here. Taking some nice breaths. You can always wiggle your hips around or your leg around to get a little bit of a different angle. If you don't feel anything, you're not doing anything. So you want to make sure that you feel that you are releasing a lot of tension. And lastly, bringing the ball in towards the hip flexors to get the psoas major and the pectineus. Pectineus is a bit tricky, but if you bring the ball a bit more medial, you can get into there. It's a bit more towards the groin. So these areas are really beneficial to foam roll because when you get a massage, it's not likely your massage therapist is going to go into these intimate areas. So a great way to get into these intimate areas is with a ball, is with a foam roller. And take some nice breaths. Sometimes with the psoas, they're so tight you can't even really relax. But over time you will. Over time you just continue to melt and to keep releasing. Thank you guys for joining me on this opening of the groin, adductors, the inner thighs. I hope that you feel relief, you feel better, maybe your posture feels a little straighter, or you feel a bit more grounded. Please leave a comment below if you tried any of these and let me know how it went for you. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and feel free.